Eli Apple, huh? Good afternoon. Welcome to my instant reaction to day 4 of training camp. I took the train home. I figured I would do my instant reaction not so instantly today, just because it's Sunday. Wanted to switch it up. And the Niners really don't want me streaming from their facility. I'm getting the hint. They haven't said it, but I can take hints very well. A lot of news today. Let's start with the news that just broke 10 minutes ago. The 49ers have signed cornerback Eli Apple. Now, why? Renardo Green pulled his hamstring 2 days ago on day 3 of camp. He's going to be out until mid-August. They're hoping to have him back for around the Raiders preseason game. That's August 16th. So they need a cornerback. They have Trey Brown, Upton Stout, and Deommodore Lenoir. Now they have Eli Apple. Eli Apple's almost 30 years old. Eli Apple has started 82 games in his career. He has a whopping 6 interceptions in those 82 starts. He also was played in 4 games last year, just 4. He I don't know, was hurt or something with the Chargers. Not the most, not the best signing. It's not like the Niners just went out and got like the time they got Josh Norman or the time they got Richard Sherman or the time they got Jason Verrett. It's not really like that. And it's too bad because there's other cornerbacks available. No disrespect to Mr. Apple. But they could have gone and signed Rasul Douglas, who's better. They could have signed Asante Samuel Jr., who's better. And again, I sort of feel for Kyle Shanahan a little bit and Robert Saleh here and John Lynch, because I don't think they looked at the film and they're like, man, Eli Apple is our best option. I think they reacted to an injury on their roster and used the budget that they have available, which is nothing. So get to know Eli Apple, get to learn to love Eli Apple. I think hopefully best case scenario is that he never actually has to suit up for the 49ers. Like maybe he'll take some reps in practice and put some film out there in preseason. But if Eli Apple has to actually play this year, the Niners really, really screwed up. If they actually need a cornerback to play, then go get Asante Samuel Jr. or Rasul Douglas. Eli Apple is he's like the Quintez Cephas of cornerbacks. So I don't know how this makes you feel. To me, it indicates that maybe Renardo Green's injury is significant. They hope to have him back by the Raiders game, but I hope for a lot of things. I hope to make $1 million next year. Doesn't mean I will. Kyle Shanahan and then 49ers are like, at this point, like infamously non-transparent when it comes to injuries. They seem to undersell them. So Renardo Green's is a big one. Cornerback already was the thinnest position or one of them on the team. Renardo Green had one good day of camp and went down. It's interesting. Kyle Shanahan was talking about it today. He's like, when these young guys, they get in the league, they don't necessarily have their routine set and they might miss a treatment here and there to take a nap. And then boom, they pull their hamstring and they're out for 3 weeks. I wonder if he was talking about Renardo Green. So Eli Apple here, I really hope he's not actually going to take reps with the starters, because it seems to me like the Niners have an interesting situation at cornerback. Green aside, you got Upton Stout, who's playing very well in the slot. The vets are talking about him. Lenoir is really impressed. He looks built like a vet. He doesn't look like a rookie at all. Of all the rookies, he may look the least like a rookie, even though he's short. He's coming along. Lenoir's good. Trey Brown's solid enough. But yeah, they have this undrafted rookie named Jacob Robinson, who's quite interesting. He broke up a potential touchdown pass today from Tanner Mordecai to Ricky Pearsall in the end zone. I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's Tanner Mordecai, so the throw was it was a back pylon fade that was very low, and it was kind of like a Colin Kaepernick back pylon fade. So Ricky didn't really have much of a chance, but he wasn't open. He was one-on-one against Jacob Robinson, who was a 24-year-old rookie from BYU, went to high school with Puka Nacua, and he shut down Ricky on this one particular rep, broke up the pass, kind of like posed afterward, and all the All the defensive backs on the team came over and gave him a high five. It seems like they're impressed. I'm impressed. I think he's been steadily one of the best rookies on the field, Jacob Robinson. So he's going to have to beat out Saran Neal, the veteran special team specialist who's got a couple million guaranteed. So Jacob Robinson's going to have to be so good in preseason that he'll leave the Niners no choice but to keep him on the team. But that's a diamond in the rough, a diamond in the rough. I think Jacob Robinson, I would like to see Jacob Robinson play with the starters before I see Eli Apple play with. What's your favorite Eli Apple memory? Like every time I've heard the name Eli Apple, it's him getting torched. He's been around for a long time, but you got to respect that. But I feel like he's been getting torched for a long time as well. So good to have you, Eli. This was sobering and serious and concerning, and we really don't know what happened. Terron Jackson seemed to injure his neck today at training camp. He was down on the ground for at least 5 minutes, didn't get up on his own, was carefully placed onto a stretcher and then onto a cart and then carted out, out of the facility into Stanford Hospital. So, keep him in your prayers. It sounds like he's going to be okay. I don't know about his career. So, Terron Jackson, third string defensive lineman. What happened on the play was a run to his side, Jordan James, and third stringers, there's more like people falling down than the first stringers just because they're, not quite as, coordinated or whatever. So there's like a pileup. And I'm looking at the running back because we don't have a great angle, and I'm just trying to follow the ball. So I see Jordan James, and I see there's a bunch of bodies on the ground. I see 67 kind of plant Jackson on the ground, look like a pancake. And when he did it, there are a few players that were like, excited. It was a good football play, a good block, a physical play. So you heard some like hooting and hollering, like, woo! And then pretty clearly you saw Isaac Cohn, who made the block, realized that Terron Jackson wasn't getting up. We're moving. He might have been unconscious. So you saw Cohn react pretty quickly, call for the trainers. All the players who were within like direct vicinity dropped to their knee and got quiet. Then the rest of the team saw how the players close to the incident reacted, and everyone else dropped to a knee, and the whole place was silent. There were all those fans there. They were silent. It was a very, very somber moment, not just because we didn't know what was happening or how severe the injury was. We didn't even know who it was. No idea. Not that it really changed anything, but yeah. So I didn't find out till like Kyle Shanahan came to the podium after practice exactly who it was. Terron Jackson. Hope he's okay. But happened midway through practice, and then they stop for 10 minutes, gets carted off, and then they go right back to practicing football. I've seen that happen so many times, and you have to do it. But it's just jarring to go from, aggression, physicality mode to, oh my God, one of our teammates is, we don't know how injured. We don't know what the extent is to, all right, let's get back to the most brutal game. It's a rough one, but it's interesting to see how the pros really can compartmentalize that and keep going. I don't think a lot of us could. It was hard. Okay, let's move on. All the best to Terron and his family. This was interesting. Jauan Jennings. So early, I just had my eyes on him because he requested a contract extension or a trade, which was a pretty aggressive move for a former number 3 wide receiver who had one breakout year. I was intrigued. I was like, yeah, that's right, Jauan, put your foot down. Get what's yours. It seemed like he had some type of a meeting with the upper ups, and he decided not to flex his leverage, which I thought was a mistake. But, maybe he felt that he didn't need to and that they would take care of him. I thought if they would, that they would take care of him tomorrow or the next day, and maybe they will. But now he has a calf injury. And so before practice, I'm watching him. He doesn't do special teams. So when special teams happen about 10 minutes, he just kind of stands. Most of the time he talks to Kyle. He seems anxious, nervous. I would be too. He's like maybe a few days away from getting $75 million. I'd be nervous too. And if is that potential extension contingent, not 75 million, but 45 million. Is that extension contingent on his practice? Maybe. Him staying healthy? Maybe. So he's talking to Ayuk. Ayuk's over there talking to him. Ayuk, one of the richest men on the team. He's got some grievances, but ultimately he got the money he wanted, and he got more money than Jauan Jennings is ever going to sniff. So I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to talk about whatever. It seemed like, my guess, I was 50 yards away, but it seemed like Ayuk wanted to know about the fight between Jennings and Lenoir. Because then Jennings kind of put his hand on Ayuk's chest and sort of like pantomimed what he did to Lenoir in the fight a couple of days, where he was like, I was just blocking him. Yeah, that's always what Jennings says, right? I was just playing football. So anyway, that conversation happened. I was watching. I actually got the whole thing on film. I can show you guys. And then Robert Saleh walked over. I thought this was so genius, because you don't think about Saleh talking to offensive players, because he's a defensive coordinator, but he'd just been a head coach for 4 years. He knows these players. He was here when they were here, and he's going to be a head coach again. So he's networking with offensive players, came over, and Jauan Jennings gave him a hug. Brandon Ayuk gave Robert Saleh such a big hug. I thought that was interesting. Would Brandon Ayuk give John Lynch a big hug? I don't know. Would he give Kyle a big hug? Maybe. That's a maybe. But I saw him give Robert Saleh a big hug today. That was interesting. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, so Jennings was he's had this nervous energy all at camp a couple of days ago. He yelled at Mac Jones after Mac Jones completed a pass because he wanted the ball instead. Then 2 days ago, he got in a fight with Lenoir. Whatever. He's entitled. He's got a lot at stake right now. Then today, he's warming up, and all of a sudden I realized, like, man, Jauan hasn't caught a pass. He should probably, like, that's not so. I might have to put him in the not so good section today, because he's trying to get this extension, and to get the extension, he's going to actually have to produce. And then Tracy Sandler at the post-practice presser, she's like, hey, where was Jauan? Like, good question, Tracy. I didn't even realize he was gone. And Kyle's like, oh, yeah, it's his calf. It's like, and someone came back to him like, oh, that calf injury, huh? It's like, oh, yeah, same calf he had in OTAs. Okay. So, look, I don't know if it's serious or not. He injured his calf in OTAs, came back, played well. So maybe it's something that's just like bothering him, nagging him, but like, I'm just going to say it. They're calling it a calf injury, and it's nagging him. Sounds a lot like the thing that Christian had last year. Achilles tendonitis. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but calf and Achilles are connected anyway. And if it's lingering and re-aggravating, then I wonder if it's tendonitis. So that's not great. And that's why, I mean, look, maybe the Niners knew about this the whole time. Maybe when Jauan went and made his ultimatum, they were like, dude, you have Achilles tendonitis. Like, are you kidding? No, we're not going to extend you. And you're lucky we don't tell Adam Schefter about your injury. I mean, I don't know. I wonder. Because if he has Achilles tendonitis or calf tendonitis or whatever, they can't extend him. That's what they did with Christian last year. Imagine giving 2 extensions in 2 years to 2 players with calf injuries or Achilles injuries. You can't do it. You already made that mistake last year. Imagine they extend Jauan Jennings, and then the next day, the next week 4, the injury gets real serious and he can't practice. He can't play for a month or 2 or a season. Then, I mean, at that point, Jed York would have to look at the people making decisions with the money and be like, how many extensions are we going to give to people who are currently injured with calf injuries? How many? And why? So, Jauan, I feel terrible, but this is how brutal this business is. And why players need to strike while the iron is hot and get their money while they can, because you thought you were being a good guy coming back to camp and practicing instead of holding in, holding out, and making people upset with you. Well, look what happened. Now you're hurt, and now they have to decide if they want to, like, do the right thing, or who knows, maybe they made you some promises in that practice, in that meeting. Maybe they told you, hey, man, you just practice for 2 weeks and keep your head down. We'll take care of you. But the fine print is unless you get hurt. You know who else thought the Niners was going to take care of him? Dre Greenlaw. Jauan, you should call up Dre. I bet you Dre Greenlaw thought he was going to get a 3-year extension from the Niners or more. But then he got hurt. And then he didn't get that deal, did he? What did the Niners offer Dre Greenlaw? Was it ever reported? I have no idea. Probably not a 3-year deal, probably nowhere close to what the Broncos offered him until the Broncos made the offer. And then the Niners tried to come back at the last minute and match it or something. But the first one seemed to really insult him, like he had been expecting something else and the Niners changed their mind without communicating. I don't know. But I wonder if that's what's going to happen now. And that's just the way it goes, dude. If I were on their, in their front office and I knew the full extent of your injury and it was not good, I would be like, you know what? Sorry. We love Jauan, but it's a business and we can't make this mistake twice. That's why I'm 37 years old and I'm not a particularly good athlete, but if I ever got to do life again and be like a premium professional athlete and I got in a position where I might be able to get $75, $100, $250 million in a contract, I would hold out. I would not leave my house. I would put myself in bubble wrap and I would not see the light of day. I would have no tan. I would be taking vitamin D supplements. Are you kidding? If I trip and fall, I fell off the treadmill at Orange Theory. Can you imagine? Right there, I would be immediately disqualified from ever getting an extension. I would be indoors. So let that be a lesson to any other player out there that thinks that they're going to like get the team on their side by being nice. Nah. Brandon got what he wanted. I don't think Jauan's going to get what he wants, and I hope his calf is okay. Shady Luke says Eli Apple stinks. Ha. Yeah, I think that's fairly well established at this point in his career, but is this a tan grant? Yeah, I wanted to say that like I spend a lot of time inside because I work so hard, but this is the time of year where I'm forced to go outside for at least 2 hours every day. And it's not Oakland outside, it's Santa Clara outside, which is like 20 degrees hotter at least. So I get a little bit of a tan and I try to make it last the whole year, but really it's probably gone by October, if that. But thanks for noticing. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Because sometimes I feel like I'm on here and people only care what I have to say about sports, but I'm a person with a tan and I'm proud of it. Okay, let's talk about other stuff. Ricky Pearsall. This was the good news of the day. So Jauan went down. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. The giveth thing was the return of Ricky Pearsall. And I want to say I've seen Ricky Pearsall play a lot. We've all seen Ricky Pearsall play a lot of football. Didn't do much in training camp last year, but he did, play 3/4 of the season, 2/3 of the season. And by the end, he was making some really, really impressive plays. And he probably could have put up even better numbers if, the seventh highest paid player in the league had hit him in stride and a couple other. I'm not trying to take shots. I'm just saying he actually was probably better than his numbers indicated down the stretch last year. So with Ricky, the question is, can he stay healthy? Because we've seen what he can do. I think he's a better player right now than Deebo Samuel. And I think that the Niners were right to bet on Ricky over Deebo for a lot of reasons. I think Ricky's a better receiver. He's faster, better route runner. He's more sure-handed. He's not as good after the catch as Deebo. No one is, but I think he is good after the catch. He's a team guy. He's not going to complain about his touches. I mean, it was the right decision as long as Ricky Pearsall stays healthy. And I have no idea if he can do that. So far, he's had one day in a row where he's been healthy. I think that's great. It's a great start. We'll see if he can start stacking those days. But what you see with Ricky Pearsall is a guy who can win in a variety of ways. He can be in the slot. He can be outside. He can go over the middle. He can go to the outside. He can catch passes behind the line of scrimmage and be like a gadget guy on like a swing, like the way they use Deebo. Or he can run routes in the intermediate and deep levels like the way they used Ayuk. Now, he's not going to be like an X receiver who lines up on the line of scrimmage and beats tough press man coverage when he faces cornerbacks who are as big or bigger than him. Not going to happen. He's not built like that. But they won't use him like that. He'll be in the slot. He'll be at flanker, Z off the line of scrimmage. He'll be in motion. Like Jauan Jennings is good, but Kyle wants to express his creativity through the Z receiver more than the X. Because the Z receiver is the guy who can go in motion. And Kyle's whole system is based on using motion like every play. So, yeah, Jennings is cool. Kittle is cool, but it was always Debo, the way that Debo would move before the snap, the different places that Kyle would put him, the different ways Kyle would use him. That was the Kyle Shanahan signature, and that's going to be Ricky this year. So if Ricky stays healthy, he'll probably lead the team in targets. Not Jauan, not Kittle, but I don't know if Ricky can actually physically do that. Stay healthy. He's had issues with injuries since college, so we'll see. I would like to challenge Ricky to a race though when his hamstring's feeling better, like all the way better. Maybe when he's retired, maybe when he's 37 and I'm 50. But I want that race with Ricky because I feel like I'd smoke him. Oh, he ran a 4.4. Yeah, but I ran a 4.51 when I was 18 on a track with spikes, which means on grass I probably would run like a 4.6, which means he probably he probably smoked me in a race. But I still want to see what that looks like because I feel like I got him. I feel like I could get in his head a little bit. You know what I mean? Mental games, because that's where the races are won and lost. You think I could get him? I could run, and I've been going to Orange Theory recently, and I'm getting back into it. Now I did fall, but I got back up. All right, Ricky, I salute you for coming back. Is there anything else I want to say about him? He scored a touchdown today. Caught a touchdown from Brock. Really likes Ricky. I think everyone really likes Ricky, but Brock trusts Ricky. And Jauan, maybe part of the reason he didn't hold out is because Ricky's about to like light up training camp. And that's gonna all the leverage that he thought he had might go out the window if Ricky lights it up. And frankly, Demarcus Robinson doesn't seem much worse than Jauan. Like they seem like pretty comparable players. Thrown out there for Demarcus. So maybe that's why Jauan has been soldiering it out at camp. Thought he had more leverage. Maybe he doesn't. Wes Jameson's a new member. Thank you, Wes. Mr. Fish and Chips OBE says thin at wide receiver. Well, wide receiver Kyle Shanahan is available. Who do you think would be who do you think would win in a race right now? Me or Kyle? I bet I would smoke him. He doesn't seem like he's fast. He's tall and he might have a big stride, but I bet you my stride is bigger. I have such a ooh. I'm just gonna start challenging everyone in the Niners to a race. I'm gonna be like in a group interview. He'd be like, "Hey Kyle," I'd be like, "What?" Bet you I beat you in a race. He'd be like, "Is that a question?" I'd be like, "Hey Kyle, don't you think I'd beat you in a race?" That's how I'd phrase it in a question. He's scared of me. That's why he's scared of me. That's why he doesn't like me, because he could see a guy who's faster. It always comes down to that. Let's talk about the UDFA of the day. This is a new segment that I thought of myself, the UDFA of the day. I like it because it kind of rhymes. Also, who doesn't want to know about the UD, like the up and comers? We're always going to talk about the rookies. And maybe I should talk about the rookie of the day too, but the UDFA of the day. First, it was Isaiah Neyor a few days ago. He had that beautiful leaping catch. Niners put it out on their social media. That was big. Then 2 days ago was Jacob Robinson. He's becoming like the lockdown cornerback of the third string defense. Today, the UDFA of the day was running back Corey Kiner. We've been waiting for Corey because every year it seems the Niners have an undrafted free agent running back, or every other year, who's really good and maybe even better than the running back they drafted. Like last year, there was that guy from Missouri whose name I forget because he sucked. But the year before, or 2 years before, I forget, Jordan Mason, when they had Jordan Mason, they drafted Ty Davis Price. It was clear pretty quickly that Jordan Mason was the one who was good, not Ty Davis Price. So far, Jordan James looks good, but he hasn't had a moment like Kiner had today. Kiner, he seems like, first of all, as a runner, Jordan James and Kiner are almost indistinguishable. One's 29, one's 49, so they got the 9. I want to say James is like a half inch taller. They're built similarly. Kiner's got a little bit more burst, I want to say, in his first 10 yards. James seems a little bit bigger, but they're both elusive. Kiner has these really, really impressive jump cuts. And he might be a little bit more elusive than Jordan James. But James is a little bit bigger, and he seems like he's a natural receiver, even though he didn't catch that many passes in college. And with Kiner, I was curious to see what kind of a receiver he would be. And he's made some nice catches in camp. I haven't really talked about it, but today he ran some wheel route up the sideline. He had Robert Beelan coverage, who's not, he's not a coverage guy, but he's big and fast, and it's tough to catch a ball over your shoulder, over a 6'5" guy who's right there when you're not a receiver. And he made like a diving, sprawling catch. It's like, okay, Corey. So that's someone to watch, because all he has to do is beat out Patrick Taylor Jr. And if Kiner doesn't do anything in preseason, then there won't be any reason to put him on the 53-man roster. But if he plays well and it's clear that he's like the next Bobby Turner diamond in the rough, then the Niners might not be able to waive him and get him through waivers and onto the practice squad, because a lot of teams need running backs. So if he can just play better than Patrick Taylor Jr., we know he's okay. He's a vet. He's not going to all of a sudden break out this year. He's a solid player. Then he can make the team. So now all of a sudden I'm counting 3 undrafted free agents who have legit chances to make the 53-man roster. Isaiah Nayor, simply because Brandon Ayuk's going to start the season on PUP, but that creates a 6th spot. Jacob Robinson, Bernardo Green's hurt. He's got to beat out Saran Neal, who's really, well, he had an interception today. So, hey, he may not do it. Saran Neal picked off Tanner Mordecai today, who's maybe he's a gamer. I'm trying to be nice this offseason, all right? I don't want to Cam Latu anyone, although Cam deserved it. Man, he was awful. But no, I'm trying to be nice this offseason. So focusing on the positives. Corey Kiner. Those are the 3. There's got to be one more. Is there one more undrafted free agent? Stone Blanton. Now, the thing about linebackers is you can't really judge anything unless they have like a pick 6. You can't really judge anything until the pads go on, or really until there's preseason. Like, actually tackling is kind of important. Do they make the tackle? So we'll see about Stone Blanton. I have a feeling that he's going to kick ass in preseason, that he's going to be a tackling machine. So he's going to be competing with Jalen Graham for that 6th linebacker spot. He could win that. So it could be 4 undrafted free agents that make the team, 3 or 4, plus the 11 draft picks. I don't know if Junior Bergen's going to make the team, but they are like calling plays for him. Like, they have little gadget play. Today they did a bunch of ghost motion. You know what that is? I mean, every team does it, but like plays where there's a fake reverse or an actual reverse built in. And that's how they've been using Junior Bergen. He may have caught one pass so far, but if he's going to make the team, it's going to be because he's an incredible returner and a guy that can run a reverse. He just doesn't seem big or fast to me. I don't really see it with Junior Bergen, but it's early, and maybe he's a gamer. Of course, maybe like when he's actually in a preseason game, he's going to make 11 dudes miss and score a touchdown on a punt return. I don't know. He catches it very cleanly, but if he's coming around in a reverse, he's not going to outflank NFL receivers. He's not that fast. Now, Senior Bergen, super fast. They should look into Senior Bergen. They don't have him, though. Tyga style. Wu-Tang says, "You're the man, Grant." No, you're the man. Aha, you lose. Grunt Bone says, "How did Jake and Tang do today? Tang jersey giveaway." Do you know how quickly I'd lose my credential if I actually made that jersey? I should, though. It'd be a good way to go out. Grunt Bone. How did Jake and Tang do today? Jake Moody? You want to talk about Jake Moody? Oh, he missed another field goal. Jake Moody. I want to talk about Jake Moody. So, instead of like actually getting a better kicker, you can tell the Niners' plan is to make Moody work. So they're like, well, he was bad last year, but it's because he was hurt. But in case it wasn't because he was hurt, we're going to sign Greg Joseph just to push him. But, bringing in Joseph and him being healthy will bring out the best in Moody, and he's going to be great. Because I don't think they really want Greg Joseph to be their kicker. Like, he's just here to bring the best out of Jake. So 2 days ago, the Niners had their special teams day with the media. Like, they know they're going to be talking to the media after practice. But before practice, they know they're going to be talking to us after practice. So it's kind of a little bit of pressure on them. And they brought out Brant Boyer, Thomas Morstead, the punter, and Moody. They didn't bring out Greg Joseph. He's not supposed to be a factor. We're never going to talk to him unless he actually makes team. But so that's the backdrop. It's special teams day. We haven't even talked to Christian McCaffrey at this point, and yet we're going to get Jake Moody at the podium. First time he's talked in a while. And at this point, he hasn't missed yet in front of the media in training camp. First 2 days, perfect. Day 3, special teams day, he's going to talk. He misses 1. Joseph misses 2. Great. Out of 4. Each one had 4. So not exactly what you want from Moody. A little bit of pressure, has to talk, misses a kick. It's okay, though. It's just 1 kick. And Joseph was worse. So he comes out and bunch of softball questions, nice questions. As is fair. We're not here to grill him. He hasn't missed any serious these serious kicks. It's the offseason. And so he's comfortable, and he's talking about what he's trying to do and how he's switched up his technique and how in the past he had like more of a longer run up to the ball so he could generate more power. And then this year he's going to go from a 3-step guy to a 2-step guy, less of a run up so he can have a little bit less power, but maybe more control. I'm like, man, that's genius. I don't care. They just missed a kick. This guy has thought it through. He is a thinking man's kicker. And I like that. So now I'm back on the Moody train until today. He comes back out there and it's another competition with him and Moody, with Joseph. And it's like the whole team is watching. Everyone stops. They're trying to put as much pressure on Moody as possible, which is the right thing to do, but also kind of hard to do because it's like nothing you can do in practice can actually replicate the pressure of having 70,000 people plus millions on TV, but whatever. Some pressure. Nick Bosa's watching you. George Kittle's watching you. Don't let him down. And he misses a 54-yard field goal, short and wide left, while Joseph bangs it through the uprights. And he's not good. He's fine. He's like an average NFL kicker. You'll take that. As opposed to Moody, who is not sure yet. He's early in his career. He has a strong leg, and he misses kicks he should make far too often. So now he misses a 54-yard kick short. I'm thinking, look, one thing about Jake Moody, I never would think 54 yards is out of his range. But now that he's a 2-stride kicker instead of a 3-stride kicker, he doesn't even have a strong leg anymore, and he misses wide left. Like, you know what? To me, once a kicker starts messing with their motion and their mechanics, they start over. He even said it himself. He's like, if I just overhaul my mechanics, and then I'm just kind of, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's like, it's kind of a desperate thing to do. And now you're just searching for something that works, and that may not work. Maybe the better thing to do is to like stick with what got you there. Well, he overhauled his mechanics, and now he still is erratic left and right, and his leg isn't as powerful. Guys, I think it's time to buy a Greg Joseph jersey. I think that's where this is going. Because if they keep Moody, they might have to get rid of him. As soon as he does this in a game, it's over. I don't think his teammates are going to have patience for the Jake Moody experience. Psychological roller coaster. Oh, he's confident. Oh, he's not confident. Greg Joseph seems like a perfectly confident, mediocre kicker. What's wrong with that? Anyway, we're going to see, guys. Dangerous Dave says, my guy, love you. Hope you're good. Want a lemonade. I can't wait to get a lemonade with you, man. So this was interesting. Deommodore Lenoir spoke to the media today for the first time since his arrest last month in LA. About a 5-minute interview. And it was interesting because he comes out, I'm like, it's the first time he's talked since he got arrested. We got to ask him about the arrest, right? We got to ask him about the arrest. Like, who's going to do it? And it was clear none of us wanted to do it because we all essentially like him. He's always been good to us. He seems like a down-to-earth guy. He messed up, whatever. Still, though, we have to ask. Have to. And he has to say something, has to. We can't gloss over that so we can ask him a bunch of questions about Upton Stout. I'm sorry. Like, that's what 49ers.com would do. We're actually supposed to be actual journalists. So I don't know, not to toot my own horn. I waited. No one asked it. I know why. It was uncomfortable. I was nervous. So at the end, I was like, what would you say you learned from that experience in LA? I don't know if I said it like that, but I was fully prepared for him to yell at me or snap at me. I don't know why. And he didn't. He was clearly very prepared for it, smart. And he was like, I learned that I'm not the same person as I was 5 years ago. And I need to be cognizant of being in the right place and not doing the wrong. It was like, and he was like, and I want to apologize to my teammates and my coaches and my family. I made a mistake. I'm like, man, that is the perfect answer. This is why I love this guy. This is why I was so proud. Because sometimes, like, as a journalist, you sort of develop ideas of who you like and who you don't like personally. And you're not supposed to, because like, it doesn't matter how I feel. If I don't like some player and he does well, I'm supposed to praise him. If I do like some player and he doesn't do well, I'm supposed to criticize him. So I like Lenoir. That's like my favorite player on the team. And if he, gives up a touchdown catch, I don't care. I'll talk about it. I don't owe him that. But when he got arrested, I'm like, oh man, like, did you do I not know you at all? Am I a bad judge of character? Did you have me fooled? Do I just not know you? And it seemed like, no, like, that's the Deommodore Lenoir I know. People make mistakes. His wasn't that egregious. And look at how he owned up to it. So once again, I'm on Team Lenoir. You can see why they gave him all that money and believed him. I mean, he's a much more mature professional. Than even Jauan Jennings. Like, Jauan Jennings is a hell of a player, good pro, but he's not on Lenoir's level, which is why Lenoir's gotten the extension and Jennings hasn't yet. So I just wanted to say that about Deommodore Lenoir. I was the one that asked the question. I thought it was a complete softball, but it gave him an opportunity to sort of redeem himself, at least in the eyes of fans that wanted not an explanation, but it's like, if he doesn't say it, if he doesn't say that and sweeps it under the rug and we sweep it under the rug, then isn't part of you wondering, like, did he learn from that? Or like, who is he? What did he think of that? Did he take it seriously? And it's like, when he answers this question, it's like, oh yeah, that's Deommodore Lenoir. So anyway, I was impressed. I don't know if you guys were. Grunt Bone says Jake week 1 hits a game-winning field goal in Seattle, puts Bosa MAGA hat. That's pretty funny. AZ Gaming says, what was a spot on the team you are worried about? Man. It changes. I mean, wide receiver and corner. Wide receiver and corner. Jennings is hurt now. Cowing is hurt. Pearsall's been healthy for a day. Green is hurt. Eli Apple is on the team. Those two. All right, let's talk Purdy. Purdy was on local radio out here, KMBR, this morning. I was driving, listening to him. He's great. He was interviewed by Brian Murphy, who I've known since I was like 6 years old. I danced at Brian Murphy's wedding, if you know who Murph is. I was about 8, and they put on Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. I cleared the fucking floor, okay? I wasn't Michael Jackson, but I was pretty good, man. Just going to say I was 8 years old. Just freestyle the whole thing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Purdy, interviewed by Murph, and they was asking about, like, he said, Kyle, I don't know who said it, but he said, want you to become a little bit more of a runner. Steve Young said it. Steve Young said that he wants Purdy to use his legs more. Steve said a lot more than that. But the way Murph relayed it was, here's what Steve said. He wants you to use your legs more. What do you think? And you know how Brock is. He's always very agreeable. Oh, yeah, 100%. I do too. Those scramble. Of course, my job is to be a point guard and to distribute, but it's not always going to be perfect. And when it's not, I need to use my legs and da-da-da. Great answer. But if I had been in the studio next to Murph, I would have liked to follow up and say, okay. But what Steve was saying is not just that Brock needs to use his legs more. It's that Kyle needs to use Brock's legs more. That's what he was saying. He was saying that, you look at Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, so many young quarterbacks. They all have a section of the playbook that's dedicated to them running. It's not just like off-schedule stuff. There are quarterback-driven runs designed in the playbook on most teams in the league. There should be some plays for Brock as well. I don't think Kyle has ever called a zone read for Brock Purdy. Ever. And he needs to. Like, the Niners really stunk on short yardage last year. 4th and 1, 4th and 2, inside low red zone. That's where a quarterback running is a game changer. Absolute game changer. And Purdy is absolutely mobile enough to do it. I think Kyle Shanahan's being a little stubborn, not using that. Like when CJ Beathard was the starting quarterback 6-7 years, however long ago that was, Kyle would occasionally call a zone read for him near the goal line, and it would occasionally work for touchdowns. Used to do that for Kirk Cousins back in the day. Why not for Purdy? He's not too small. He's bigger than Kyler. He's not too slow. He's faster than Beathard. So I think that'd be a creative way to get more first downs and touchdowns this year, as opposed to relying on Christian McCaffrey to do everything. I mean, really, on 3rd and goal from the 4, or 2nd and goal from the 4, let's say 2nd and goal from the 4, if Purdy is in the gun, he puts the ball out, extends it to Christian McCaffrey, and then the last minute pulls it and runs, you think anyone on that defense is going with Purdy? He's never run the play, and it's him or Christian McCaffrey. It's a wide open walk-in touchdown. Wide open walk-in touchdown. I challenge Kyle this year. Call that play once. See what happens, man. You're going to have some easy big plays. You've set it up. For 3 years, you've set it up by not calling it, man. Call it now. Steve Young endorses it. Can you imagine how much more dangerous Steve Young would have been if Mike Holmgren, Mike Shanahan had called a couple design runs for him every game? Now, it wasn't that league back then. He would have been even better. He would have been even better. And I think unless you're Joe Burrow, you need to be doing some running that's not just scrambling to keep up. Mahomes does. When it really counts, Andy Reid will call those quarterback design runs, not just scrambles, for Mahomes, when it really counts. Same for Jalen Hurts, obviously. Same for MVP Josh Allen. Same for Jaden Daniels. Same for Justin. Even Harbaugh makes Justin Herbert do it. Oh, you're a freaking 6'5" pocket passer with a cannon of an arm. Cool, you need to run too, man. It's an element that we need because everyone needs it. And Purdy gives you the element. And Kyle's just so locked into his system, man. Come on. This is such an easy way to get more first downs and touchdowns, and you need them. Anyway, that was my little 2 cents. And then I want to bring up one more thing. Made a video on this morning. Clearly, Niner fans still care about Jim Harbaugh and Trey Lance. Niner fans were emotionally invested in both of them. Both of them got kind of an early exit. Jim Harbaugh, you could argue, still should be the Niners head coach. And Trey Lance, I'm not saying he should be the Niners quarterback, but 3 first-round picks in the 3rd for 3 starts and then nothing. Yeah, I can see why Niner fans are still kind of mildly interested in what happens next for Trey Lance, who is younger than Brock Purdy. So it's early, but about a week into camp, there's reports and video clips surfacing of Trey Lance doing good things, which is, not really what would happen in the past. Really, daily, there'd be an embarrassing Trey Lance moment that would go viral online, him missing a receiver by a lot or throwing another pick. But in this case, it was just him throwing a bomb down the field, up the sideline, between the safety and the corner, just a seed that Justin Herbert could make, but it's not a throw that Brock Purdy would attempt. It's not a throw that Mac Jones would attempt. It's a low percentage throw. It's a very difficult throw. It's really not a throw in the Niners offense, but Trey hit it. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like I've seen this play out. I covered Jim Harbaugh. I covered Alex Smith. And that was 15 years ago. If you remember, no one thought anything of Alex Smith. Alex Smith was Trey Lance. It's just Alex Smith went to pretty much like an expansion team, and he got to play a lot, whereas Lance got drafted by a good team and didn't get to play a lot. But it was very similar. When they played, they weren't ready. They were trying to do too much. They made a bunch of mistakes. They got hurt. They got blamed. They got labeled busts. Really young. Earnest, nice, hardworking guys. Alex Smith and Trey Lance, they have a lot in common. Alex Smith could have washed out of the league. He had a really nice run with Andy Reid. He never would have got there if it wasn't for Jim Harbaugh. And what Jim Harbaugh did is like, look, man, I know you're the number one pick and a lot of pressure on you, dude, but what you're not going to do is play hero ball. What you're not going to do is lose the game single-handedly. That's what you've been doing with all these picks. We're going to get you out there and just don't make the big mistake. So like his first year under Harbaugh, Alex Smith like had the lowest interception percentage in the league, which is just what it's exactly what Justin Herbert just did. And that's if Trey Lance ever plays for Harbaugh, that's what Harbaugh's going to want him to do. Hey man, first job, don't turn the ball over. That's not what Kyle asks. Kyle asks his quarterback, hey man, throw that 12-yard pass over the middle no matter what. And if you don't pull the trigger, I'm going to find someone who does. And if you throw an interception, it's your fault, not mine. That's his offense. It's always been. That's why his offense always ranks so high in yards and estimated points added, because that throw over the middle is simultaneously high percentage. It's a 12-yard throw right in front of you. High percentage throw. And it goes for big yards. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. What's the problem with it? It's in traffic. So if you miss it, you might hit it 70% of the time. But the 30% of the time you miss it, does it get tipped? Does it get picked? That's a pass that when it's incomplete, it's often intercepted. That's why Harbaugh doesn't call that pass as much, because his passing game is all about not making mistakes. So it's not going to be flashy. It's not going to rank as high as Kyle Shanahan's. But he's going to win a lot of games because the easiest way to lose a game is the quarterback throwing picks. Easiest way. So with Lance in college, his skill set was big dude, mobile, strong arm, makes good decisions, doesn't turn the ball over. The Niners didn't really use any of that. They wanted him to fit Kyle Shanahan's system. So they put him under center. They asked him to throw the dig route over the middle. Man, it's too high. It's too low. It's behind the receiver. It's not placed well. It's coming in too hot. It's not layered. It's a disaster. It's not what he's meant to do. You know who else would suck in this system? Absolutely suck. Jalen Hurts. He can't throw over the middle. Russell Wilson can't throw over the middle. Kyler Murray can't throw over the middle. But these are guys who've had some success in the league. Wilson won a Super Bowl. Hurts won a Super Bowl. You can win with a quarterback who can run, throw short, throw outside the numbers, and throw deep. That's Lance. Well, theoretically, we don't really know what Lance is. But that's what he could have been, should have been, but that's never what the Niners wanted him to be. They wanted him to be Matt Ryan or whatever. The next Kyle Shanahan scheme quarterback. There was nothing. I mean, they had some runs for him, but there was nothing inherent to the passing game that was Trey Lance specific. So anyway, it's good that the Niners have Brock. It's good that the Niners have Mac Jones. They're great fits for Kyle Shanahan's offense. It's good that Trey Lance is with Harbaugh. He's a great fit for what Harbaugh wants to do. He can absolutely protect the football, run, and throw downfield. That's the Jalen Hurts formula. That's what Hurts does. It can work. So I'm encouraged. I feel like, I don't know. Do you guys care about Lance anymore? I feel like I kind of do still. And it would be nice to see him do well, because it's not like He wasn't Jamarcus Russell or Johnny Manziel. He wasn't a bust because he didn't take it seriously. He got drafted to the wrong situation on a team that wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to still be their quarterback, that didn't want to change their system. I mean, Juszczyk doesn't want to change this. Kittle doesn't want to. It doesn't want all of a sudden. What was the first thing Juszczyk said when Trey Lance got hurt? Oh, we're back to Niner football. Lance never had a chance. They had to actually change their system and their philosophy, and their own players didn't want to do that, let alone the coach. But Harbaugh isn't going to have to change his system. His system is tailor-made for a guy who's big, mobile, and cautious and strong arm. One thing people may not remember about Colin Kaepernick as well, he did not turn the ball over. That is one thing. Not only does Harbaugh not tolerate it, like he eradicates. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be his quarterback and turn the ball over a bunch. And that's a big reason why he wins so much. Whereas Kyle, he's up and down. Some years he's great. Some years he's not. How were the Niners like 4th in yards gained last year and 13th in points? Well, turnovers. How are they 4th in yards gained last year and only won 6 games? Well, turnovers. It's a high-risk passing game. Always has been, which is why he wins when he runs the ball a lot and very well. So, yeah, Jim Harbaugh, Trey Lance, watch. And they're going to play the Niners in the preseason this year. That'll be interesting. There is a chance that we could see Lance versus the Niners and Jimmy versus the Niners. If there's one thing I'm asking the football gods is once, before Jimmy retires and before Kyle leaves his team, could we please get a Jimmy versus Kyle game one time? I'm not asking Matthew Stafford to get hurt. Maybe he'll retire. Maybe he'll take a week off. I just want to see Jimmy versus Brock, Jimmy versus Kyle one time for the culture. I would like it. I think everyone would like it. Also, did you guys see that clip of Jimmy Garoppolo throwing a nice deep pass with like arc and trajectory to Davante Adams? Like, since when? Where did that come from? It's incredible how quarterbacks go to other teams with other coaches and actually improve and add to their game. When was the last time you saw a Niners quarterback improve and add to their game here? I don't. Even Brock. Brock was great out of the gate. Alex Smith improved here. Anyway. I love Purdy, though. I'm a big Purdy guy. It's just bizarre watching Mac Jones on the field as a backup when he could have been here the whole time. And now Trey Lance is with Jim Harbaugh. That's kind of like the 49ers cast-offs down in L.A. Interesting. You think they talk about the Niners, Harbaugh and Lance? They trade stories? Like, hey, let me tell you about Jed. Oh, man, let me tell you about. Or maybe Harbaugh's like, hey, tell me something about Kyle. Tell me something about Kyle. And he's like, all right. Do you think that Harbaugh secretly dislikes Kyle? Or maybe like doesn't dislike Kyle, but like kind of roots for him to fail, because if he fails, then everyone will have to be like, man, they should have kept Harbaugh. I wonder. Probably. Do you think that's part of the reason that Harbaugh brought in Lance? Like, oh, Niners screwed him over. Nothing would make me happier than to make them feel dumb. Hey, Jed, you know that coach that you replaced me with? You know how you think you don't need me anymore and that you made the right decision? You ended up with the right guy. Well, you know that quarterback that you gave that you spent all those picks on, you didn't know what to do with? Well, look what I did. Look what I did. No, but enjoy Brock. Have a great time with Brock, because we have Justin Herbert and Trey Lance. But no, you guys got Brock and Mac Jones. That's pretty good. Fits your system. As long as you got Kyle, it'll work. Other thing Kyle said in this interview with TK, Tim Kakami, they're like, how come you don't let him audible? And he's like, well, only like 10 quarterbacks in the world really play the position right anyway. He says these things. So what you're saying is that Brock Purdy isn't really a top 10 quarterback. The top 10 quarterbacks in the league can set their own protections and call audibles, but everyone else really can't. And even those top 10 guys would benefit from Kyle Shanahan doing the mental work for them. It's like, dude, can you stop taking like veiled shots as your own quarterback? We understand. We get it. He'd be nothing without you, buddy. We get it. I think Brock Purdy should just lead a 2-minute drive, no huddle on his own. Just turn off. Can you turn off the radio? Just like turn it off. Like, I can't hear you, man. I don't know. I don't know what's up. And just start calling plays. Like, I make 3 times what you make. What are you going to do about it, Kyle? You going to tell Jed? You going to tell on me? You going to snitch that I was calling my own plays? Good. Tell him. I want him to know. I want everyone to know I'm calling plays now. It's my team. $53 million a year, Kyle. You'll never make $53 million a year. I am so much more important than you. I'm calling the plays. I want to see. Just do it, Brock. You have the license. No one would get mad at you other than Kyle. We all would applaud you. Call your own plays. Go no huddle. Set your protections. Otherwise, you can't complain about it privately through back channels. I'm not saying you do. With this contract, you have now been given the license to do whatever the fuck you want to do. So set your predictions. Make it audible. Do a hot route. Hot route. Do people do hot routes anymore? I used to like a good hot route, man. Like a hand signal. What I think quarterbacks should do hand signals to receivers, even if they don't mean anything. Just be like, DB's like, what the fuck does that? He just threw up a bird. Yeah, hey. Oh shit, I think that means a double move. But it doesn't mean anything. I would do this. I'm telling you, mind games. Not enough of them. My opinion. Sorry. Race Lenoir. He's not ready. He's not ready for this, for all the smoke. Grant, what are some steps to improve your game? What game? In football? As in life? I don't know. My game's pretty bad. The young Montana's been a member for 47 months, man. Thank you so much. Alfredo Rojas says, Grant, be honest. Did you really fall off the treadmill or were you just testing the emergency stop feature? Either way, hope you're okay. No, I wasn't testing the emergency stop feature because you're supposed to clip it. I have it clipped. If it had been clipped, it wouldn't have thrown me off. That was so embarrassing, but at least 50 million people saw it, so that's cool. BP Audible, Kyle will hug Brock like BA hugged Salah. I gotta put the quote. I gotta put the clip out there. I'll put it out in a minute of Salah hugging Ayuk. I thought it was so smart. Salah is so smart. He's the kind of guy who could like run for mayor and win. You know what I mean? He's that savvy. It's like, oh, who needs to like me? Boom, they just like me. Guess what? They like me. Wish I could do that. Everyone hates me. Hugo de Jesus says, I mentioned BP going rogue years ago and you killed me. Well, he hadn't gotten signed yet. You can't go rogue before you get your extension. They'll use it against you. But now you got your extension. What are they going to do? Rescind your guarantees, fire you for cause? They're not going to do that shit, especially if you get it right. But I'm with you, Hugo. As a journalist, what are some steps to improve your game? You got to be honest with yourself and try to figure out what you did well that day and what you didn't do well. Like me, I'm a natural big mouth. Like, it's not hard for me to talk and express my opinions, but that's only part of being a journalist. The other part of being a journalist is like asking good questions, being observant, listening. And sometimes I don't necessarily do a great job on those things. I mean, I feel like one of the things that's cool about being a journalist is it's like a bajillion things in one. And it's hard to be good at everything. And some days you're better at other things. So today I thought I asked Deommodore Lenoir a good question. And sometimes I feel like I don't ask a good question or I ask no question at all because I don't know what to ask. And I feel like that's, trying to work on that. The questioning, the listening, the networking. There's so many little things that go into being a good journalist. And I'm really, a very bad journalist. So I'm working on all the things. Getting better though. Trying to be nicer. Because I'm going to be critical at some point this season. It doesn't need to be now. I got a bad feeling about this season. Do you guys have a bad feeling about this? I feel like they're putting together like all these rookies. It's just going to be an excuse. They're going to be like, we have 14 rookies on our team. Like, oh my God. Okay. I don't know. But it could go well. I also can't predict the future. Don't attack the team every day. Says, I didn't attack the team today. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of not attacking the team every day. I think I had like 9 things in the good section and 3 in the not so good. That's progress for me. I'm usually a little bit heavier on the not so good. Bosa goes rogue. What Kyle and Jake do in Bosa goes rogue. What Kyle and Jake do in locker room. Bosa does go rogue. What does Kyle and Jake do in the locker room? I don't know. What are you talking about? 5-12 more likely than 12-5. If they go 5-12, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. That's 5-12. No, I don't think it'd be that bad. That'd be depressing. No, I was thinking more like 8-9, 9-8, 17-0. I was thinking 17-0. Hold on. I just changed my mind. Maj, thank you. This team looks incredible. They have put on master classes. It's one of these training camps where every single player is doing great. And if let's say a wide receiver beats a cornerback for a catch, the coverage was great, and the catch was great, and the throw was great, and the protection was great, but the pass rush was also great at the same time. I've never seen anything like it. Everyone's winning their reps, and no one's losing them. It's a phenomenon. So I'm thinking 17-0, probably. So tomorrow, pads go on. The first 4 days of practice are like, it's like flag football. You just hope no one gets hurt. Someone did get hurt. There's been hamstring injuries and now a neck injury. But pads go on tomorrow. What does that mean? I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. That means either Monday or Tuesday there'll be one-on-one drills. I love the one-on-one drills. It doesn't mirror. It's not like it's not real football because there's never like actual just one-on-one in football. But you get to like focus on one player at a time. What does Mykel Williams look like rushing against Colton McKivitz? What does he look like rushing against Dominic Puni? And there's not a bajillion, there's no pass, there's no run. Sometimes I feel like I can't focus on one thing, one player, one matchup in 11-on-11s because I have to see where the ball went and who got it and what happened. Not with this. So I think the good and not so good, the practice reports will become a lot more extensive, detailed, and it'll be less, receivers and corners and more linemen, linebackers. I have the hiccups. I think it's gonna be stuff like that. So exciting. This is it. Tomorrow's a big day. Do you guys think Jauan's getting his extension? I wonder. I don't know what's going on with his calf, but anytime the Niners say calf, I just hear Achilles. That's all I hear. I don't speak calf. I only speak Achilles. Thanks for watching, yo. Oh, wait, there's more. No, there's not. I'm gone. Have a great day.